I had a blind date with a fascinating woman. Dunning-Kruger was her name. She had encyclopedic knowledge about many, many things, all of which proved to be false just the same. But her chutzpah and her confidence had great effect, and I hung onto every single word that she said to me.
Well, she drew a Venn diagram on her cocktail napkin, and her pen moved like an incomplete simile. She quoted Nietzsche and Kafka, and she referenced Atlas Shrugged, and she claimed to practice medicine and law. Though she had no formal training in either of those professions, she based it on a pamphlet she once saw. She spoke a little French and a little German in proper tense, and distinguished Spanish nouns from Portuguese. And just for the fun of it, she read some Eskimo poems from Nunavut. And it made me really weak in the knees. I undressed her with my eyes like a game, but started feeling shame, for I was the one feeling nude. Devoid of any interesting facts or personal heroic acts, I just sat and smiled dumbly like a person who's dumb. And too dumb to find it rude as she critiqued the evening's food with an air of expertise like a gourmet chef. She considered herself a pro. She once watched a cooking show, and she took a cooking class but burnt her meal and promptly left. She might just run for office. She might just run a marathon. She might just run up the tab on my card. But she'll definitely run her mouth and go on and on about every single subject near and far. Duh. I think that I'm in love. I think that I'm in fear. Fear that I'm not worthy of Dunning. For I am simple folk. Though I'm reminded of a joke about the pygmy runt who's seen his cunning. She'd like to adopt from the third world, first an African boy, then a Russian girl, and then apply to get a rescue dog and name it Spot. But she's allergic to kids and fur, so it's really not for her. But she congratulated herself for at least giving it a thought. Well, there was a live band, and here it comes. She said she's learning to play the drums, and she asked to sit in, and also that she's for hire. So they led her behind the kit. In heavens, it sounded like, like a pair of sneakers tumbling in the dryer. At the table, she's holding court all night, and there seems no end in sight. And her pie hole pours out everything she knows. She seems to understand every subject known to man, though I stumped her on the Latin word for nose, nasus. But she really didn't care. With her nasus in the air, she hopped around topics like a frog with ADD. Though I tried hard to engage it, there never was a stage that she asked a single question about me. Now she was on a confident roll, and all the stories she told, spinning yards and spewing erroneous facts. But rather than sound invective, I must admit she gave me perspective. So this is how a me monster acts. Do I treat others this way? Never giving them their say? Dominating every nook and cranny of a chat? Well, that's not a dialogue, you see, but a damn soliloquy. It's tough to hold an audience with that. So that was how we'd meet, though the night seemed incomplete, as our waitress brought the bill and I paid her up. But Dunning shared so much history, yet her persona is still a mystery. But it really doesn't matter because I just made her up. And how about that? Check it out. I only just learned about the Dunning-Kruger effect last Monday at 9 o'clock. And without knowing much more, I went home, closed the door, and wrote this entire piece on the subject. I rock! Nick Berkin, everybody.